have a snacking ball right here from Yomp, I guess. Made with love, not plastic. Food grade silicone. Great for hiding treats. I'm going to put a bunch of treats in this fucking thing, and I am going to get Kaya to play with it when we unlock the Kaya Cam at $25,000. So I just wanted to raise the stakes a little bit. What will I be putting in this? What will I be use this link to show it? Oh, here. This is what's happening. 2x donos happening right now.
Whoa.
Donation matching is happening.
Exciting stuff.
Paywalling the Kaya Cam is inexcusable. You know what? I'll also add in. I'll add in a favor. I despise mint chocolate ice cream. I think it's disgusting. I will also have that at $45,000.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's good though. It tastes good.
You're so wrong. Like, it's not even funny how wrong you are. How can one man be so abysmally incorrect is the real question.
I won't bow down.
It makes me question what other things you were just so wrong on. Mint ice cream is goated, you demon. It's mint ice cream Oreo as well. Add a goal where you game all day like 150K? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's
rights versus laws, and I do believe that there are dangerous scenes that you go to where it is required to use them. So I have to agree that part of your, like he said, his tool belt needs to include a pistol.
Okay, good, because I was about to
give her this Nylabone right now.
You both and say, okay, so you mean to tell me that what happened at Michigan State University with an active shooter killing?
I like that. Cops are. Like, the implication that cops are only necessary during active shooters kind of invalidates, like, the need for cops. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, you're right. In an active shooter situation, you do need someone who is armed to provide some level of defense. Except, you know, this is post-Uvalde, so that's a little bit different, even though cops have behaved in the appropriate manner in numerous other mass shootings that have happened since Uvalde, because fucking, holy shit, enough mass shootings happened that, you know, you got... Enough mass shootings happen that, like, clearly there will be some where the cops are actually behaving in the way that they're supposed to, which is, like, you know, that is the one instance I say where, you know, that violence is justified. It is defensive.
Okay. Oh, sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah. It's like if you're killing children at a school, I think that, like, someone with a gun,
pretty bad, I guess.
Yeah, if can you throw that out?
Yeah.
If someone is stopping the further killing of children from happening, like, that's valid, that's justifiable. Most other circumstances, which is the overwhelming majority of circumstances where cops are behaving in a violent manner, whether it be like the tip of the iceberg, which is what you see, which is like, you know, brutal moments of like unarmed citizens being executed, being shot from behind, or even the overwhelming majority of interactions that cops have that are actually violent, because ultimately even like arresting someone is a violent act, and oftentimes it is completely unjustifiable. In those circumstances, that violence is not a necessity. Because if that was a necessity, you wouldn't go to the fucking Michigan State shooting as a fucking example. You would go to any number of those other situations. You'd be like, well, yeah, what are you going to do if you see someone loitering like a homeless person and then you need someone to come in and beat the shit out of them? You know what I mean? But he didn't use that as an example, even though that's what he does for the most part. You know what I mean? They literally didn't do shit at MSU. The city police found the guy an hour later and he walked away when he was 3 miles. Yeah, that's another... I forgot the details of the MSU one.
They also run away frequently.
Yeah, that is true.
Like,
yeah.
just
I can't believe I'm saying this.
Don't say it.
As much as a fucking
don't
cop hater as I am,
it.
at the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break.
Oh.
And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You know what I mean? You can't abolish the police, but you can abolish the top of the hour ad break by subscribing for $5 or free with Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here is the 3-minute ad break now.
Ooh, Kaya Cam is coming up.
Yeah, it is coming up. This is $19,000 already. Holy fuck. Okay, here's the 3-minute ad break now.
5 students, or Ubaldi, where they went into an elementary school and killed children.
Wait, he is not using Uvalde. Oh, what a fucking idiot.
Let's see if they get him, though. Let's see if they hit him on it.
Sandy Hook, what happened over 10 years ago.
Right over it.
You're sitting there telling us that we shouldn't be carrying firearms?
Yeah, you shouldn't. Like, if you guys are just traffic cops and stuff like that, you guys shouldn't.
No,
If you guys are like a SWAT team.
Yeah, you're not answering my question.
Like I said, I'm just going based on what you said. You called me a predator. I'm like, I never done that in my life, right? I've been in situations where I've been shot at. I had 2 members of my department die in the last 2 months. I've been in situations where I've needed my firearm.
I'm willing to bet. What do you think they died from?
Like a COVID?
Statistically speaking, it probably is COVID. Or
I don't know.
Or the other killer, heart disease. Or the other killer, vehicular fatalities as they're fucking riding through a goddamn red light with their lights on, thinking that everyone is going to be ready for that moment. It's certainly not fentanyl, which is responsible for 0 cop deaths, despite the fact that if you look at the media, they just lie all the time and act like, it's the cop kryptonite.
A lot of seizures.
Yeah.
Needed every tool in my belt in my career. If you would go out and then see half of the stuff I see, you may change your perception about what you see. It's dangerous.
So you can't call for backup.
What does me calling for backup having to do with
So
using
if
my-
you work county, okay, say in my area.
I'm a county cop.
Right, and in my area, I mean, you have miles and miles of nothing around you. Your closest partner is maybe if you're lucky, 20 minutes away. Okay. In the meantime, I've got somebody that has me at gunpoint, and if I don't have a gun on my hip,
Dude, this is like...
She's in the Wild West.
Yeah, I've seen the movies. It happens in the movies. It's like, why? Why are you talking about these edge cases that, like, have not happened to you? Okay? It's like... It just doesn't make... Oh, God. Hollywood is responsible for this in many ways. Like, they have made it so that everyone thinks that, like, cops are constantly under threat. They're constantly under fire. Everyone is always, like, holding them at gunpoint. It's, like, regularly happening. And, like, they have to defend themselves against this, like, phantom gun-wielding criminal problem that is happening all over in America.
But even the thin blue line stuff, like I saw someone talk about that on Twitter, like the idea of it being the thin blue line, like there's this very small barrier between
Are you
them.
saying they're fat? Like, the cops
No.
are fat?
No.
Why are you laughing when I said that?
Because
It's not funny. Fat phobia is not funny.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah. You better not be laughing at
I'm not.
the fat blue
I'm
line.
talking about the thin blue.
Okay,
They call it the thin. You know, you ruined my point.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm not saying it.
No,
anymore.
thin blue line.
Never mind.
Okay, thin mids, come on. Let's hear it.
Because, okay, before you rudely interrupted me, the point that I was making was the idea of the thin blue line being like, we're so close to chaos and everything falling into disrepair, and like that's how they keep their funding priorities and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they're the sheepdogs. Wait, you have a problem with that? That's real.
Yeah.
Cops are the ones who are keeping
You're right.
society.
Sorry, I blew it.
My favorite cop defense is when people will be like, dude, I'd be raping and pillaging if it wasn't for the cops. It's like, what? Why would you say that out loud? Like, what? That's the only thing keeping you from, like, snapping and behaving like a fucking violent animal? Like, what the fuck? Like, people that constantly say stuff like, they say it about Christianity as well, which I think is funny. There's another dono matching happening right now for $1,000, 2x. So close.
Oh, no.
To the $25,000 goal here to unlock Kaya Cam. This is waiting right here. I got a fucking supersized Kong Easy Treat waiting for Kaya, even though I guess she's being a good girl right now, so she deserves it. She's just chilling. You will be able to see what she's up to.
25K. Kaya time.
Yeah. She's a cop in buttfuck nowhere, Tennessee. Oh man, they're constantly holding her up with their weapons in Tennessee.
Ed, I am a dead man walking because I have nothing that can go up against another gun.
But how do you think?
Like, why is she saying that? Like, why does she think that? Like, so what is it then?
She's constantly being held at gunpoint.
Yeah, and she is the most held at gunpoint cop in America, and she's killed everyone.
Yeah, she's Nicole.
Yeah, she has been able to successfully take down all of her targets that held her at gunpoint.
Felons feel.
There's tasers, pepper balls, like.
Societal issues are not on the police. Like, I'm not stripping you of your rights, right? That is not. You can
What?
vote.
You
I don't
are.
give a shit. You can vote. You can carry a gun.
No, your job directly does that. What do you mean? Like, you're talking to fucking ex-convicts. Like, you have stripped them of their rights when you arrested them at the point
You can
of
do all
arrest.
that. That is not my.
Right? I mean,
that is not my job in life. My job is you've been accused of a crime. I got to take you to jail because this, and that, and the third, I'm done.
You're saying that we should have pepper spray, tasers to Michigan State University or Uvalde? Is that what you're saying? So you're telling me that if I'm a cop, I have no gun?
Bro, he keeps saying Uvalde. Dog, Uvalde's the worst example. Someone take this bald fuck down, please. Oh, my God. Oh, I have another theory that I should clue you in on.
Okay.
So we're not racists in this community. Obviously, phrenology is the skull science that was advocated for by racists. I don't know if you're familiar with this. The idea that like different skull measurements indicate like, inherent genetic inferiorities or superiorities. Now,
is that why you have all those skulls out here?
I do, but hold on, I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
With one exception, I like to call this cop phrenology.
Oh, okay.
I am a firm believer that if you are thumb-like, if you look like a thumb, the more thumb-like you are, the more ACAB you are. ACAB in this community does not always stand for all cops are bastards. It stands for assigned cop at birth.
Oh, okay.
So what I firmly believe and genuinely believe is that you are assigned, you're assigned cop at birth. And
I'm kind of worried about me shaving my head right now.
We're about to find out how much of a thumb you are, okay?
I'm very concerned.
I'm gonna take Kai out while this debate happens. But what I'm trying to say is this man, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, this guy is a thumb.
Cop. Yeah.
He's ACAB, and he is a cop.
Yeah.
And he definitely is a cop, and he's very thumb-like.
But also, this,
Well, he said to the community, like maybe
No, that's not what he said.
Maybe
The prompt is, should cops be unarmed? Hold on a second. You just got done watching probably the most tragic incidents probably historically. Ubaldi, may I add. This kids.
Wait,
for crying out loud.
They added
and
the
what you're sitting here
context of that
saying
they waited
is that
outside
we
for
shouldn't be
over
unarmed.
an hour.
What is it would you like me to do if someone has an AK-47 killing kids? That's my question to you.
We actually have our own rights. You know, that we actually have our own rights to carry and defend ourselves in certain situations like that.
You know,
but
with
the
all
full
due
story-
respect, that's not the question
But
I'm
if
asking
you want to use your
No,
body-
I'm asking you if you were, okay, I'll ask in a different way. If you're a police officer and you have no firearms, you got your pepper spray, you have your taser, you have your baton, and you are responding to Ubaldi Elementary School where there's an active shooter with an AK-47, what are you going to do?
Wait outside the classroom for over an hour.
To the proper authorities that would be entitled to have those weapons that are not in the general community.
I get what he's saying.
No, but what entitled to have weapons? Who? What agency?
So like the
SWAT
UK,
and above, you
yeah,
know,
what he's
there's
saying.
certainly- but we're
It's like
certainly
United Kingdom, how
you know.
United Kingdom, their special force in their police department have weapons, but their regular cops.
So why should you just be? Why should you have the ability to just tote around a gun?
yes, you-
That's my question to you.
What's that?
My question to you is, just because you're a cop, why should you have the right to tote a gun around just because you have a badge?
No. That's not what the prompt is. The prompt is cops being
question.
unarmed. Cops
Yeah.
being all of
Yeah,
us.
but you use your
Whether
body,
you're
and your
patrol-
body, they took like over an hour to
If you let
respond
me-
when
allow me
they
to
were
finish.
there.
He
So
asked
you
me
had
a
the
question.
guns and you still didn't
What I'm
shoot.
saying is that he's saying cops. Cops is a very, when you say cops to me, you're talking everybody. Every single cop.
Yeah,
Okay. And
that's
you're
right.
saying we shouldn't be unarmed.
Good job.
Okay.
You shouldn't have guns at all.
Okay. So you know what? Next time there's a big active shooter going into a university, then I guess we're just going to let him shoot all the students.
So I have a question for you. So all those countries that don't have their police officers carrying guns,
Not many, just so you know.
oh, I know very well. That's the work that I do.
Okay.
So, and even been there to see that. But what I'm saying is that, have you ever thought about how those countries respond to those situations? And can we do the same?
We absolutely could not do the same because we have criminals here, and I'm not speaking of y'all, but there are people here
Oh my God.
that still carry regardless of if it's against the law. If you were
Nicole.
to take guns away from illegals, criminals,
Oh, no.
people that are not from here, I would 100% agree that officers don't need guns
So are
and that
those
we
mass
could go
shooters?
do
Because
what?
I think the mass shooters are not the ones, the immigrants, and the taking
That's
it
right.
away.
No, and that's what
Get
I'm
her.
just giving examples.
Yeah, but
I'm just
so
giving
the
examples.
example-
She's right. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so the mass
constitutional.
shooting,
It's
all
not
that
an
is-
issue.
A cop
It's
also has
like-
no right to bear arms, right, allows
It's a right.
everybody in this country to bear arms. Well, not
Which is rare.
everybody, not everybody. Let me be specific. If you're a law-abiding citizen to carry guns, the amount of guns that we have
Hooray.
in America, doesn't it outweigh the people that we have?
Cams up.
These countries, they don't have a Second Amendment. They don't have a constitutional right to bear arms. So it's a lot easier to say, you know what? Y'all can't bear arms, so y'all can't bear arms. In this country, we can. So I'm just being, like I said, everything is anecdotal. I've been in situations where I needed my gun, and you were absolutely right. Would I do the job without one? Hell no, because I've been in situations where I needed one, and you know what? I had it. It's equal force. I'm being shot at, I'm about to shoot back. Not just, hey, I have a gun on my hip, I'm just about to, you know what, guns. That's not how I do my job.
And the thing that popped right from that prompt is just active shooter. That's
And it's not even, it's not even active shooter, it's just being shot at.
You notice that they're really only talking about the active shooter situation and not about the fact that cops execute 1,000 Americans every year in this country, right? Like, that's a big part of this as well. Like, this is also a gun control. I mean, these are always like these bigger questions, but you know, I don't know.
By itself,
I haven't done the research, or I don't know if there's any empirical data to know exactly in other countries how they respond to someone who has an AK-47 that goes into a building and starts killing people.
25.
We're a police force that doesn't have any firearms. I don't know.
They
I would have to do the research.
They do have special units where they're just not out in the street where you see them all the time, 24/7. But you said something, and I want to bring that up. Hold on one sec. You said something. You said that the people with the guns are oftentimes criminals or, you know, people like that. And I want to say that those mass shootings that happen in our country are from people that pass a whole tons of background checks.
Let's go.
And, are law-abiding, to your point, and all these things, and all of a sudden, and that was my point earlier about when people snap or whatever might happen, and we have to be clear in identifying that, because we get labeled like we're the ones doing all these mass shootings, all these things, these horrible, egregious things, and 96% of the time, it is not a person that was formerly incarcerated.
And to your point, we get
so
labeled.
let's be clear on that point.
Right, and then we get labeled as killers.
Right.
I think I've heard agents of racial genocide is what we've been labeled before. You know, and all this, and again, my point was just, I'm talking about one specific type of, you know, incident where, you know,
But we have to
I
pay
think
attention
everybody
to
would
that,
agree.
though.
I think everybody would agree you'd like to have a
We all have to pay
firearm.
attention to that, though, and be clear and be
Let's
very
ignore all
honest
the
with
other
that,
stuff.
and identify it, and not try to like, oh, well, it sounds good, and let's get some news on this, and let's just like label them and put everything on them, because that's how we feel, because that is actually what's happening. And then when we know the truth and the facts, and it comes out, it's like that person was never been incarcerated, never had a record, never anything, and do the worst harm to our society, our communities, because believe it or not, the vast majority of us on this side of the fence want safety just as much as you do.
Hey good humans, Zach here, checking in to ask if you're doing your best to protect yourself from online crime. Anyone can
Wait, no, it's fine. That's fine.
find anything on the internet, including your full legal name, your email, your home address. If you sign up, thanks so
A lot.
Okay, it's good.
Or it does the hard work. Now, let's get back to this.
Bro, it's not so easy, is it?
Don't see none
People
of
think
that.
streaming on Twitch is easy.
I don't know how to.
Move over a little bit, sorry. Okay. We're at $25,000. Promises made, promises kept, okay? I will be giving you guys Kai Cam. Hold on one second. I'm going to set up the Kai Cam right now, okay? That's number one. Before I do that, I've never used one of these things. These things always like freak me the fuck out. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. I guess like fill up one of these holes with it.
Is it peanut butter?
Cheese, I think? Smells like cheese. Kong Easy Treat. It doesn't say what it is. You want to try it?
No.
Smell it.
All right. Give me this. Oh, yeah, it's cheese.
It smells like Cheese Whiz, right? Is that the right term?
I'll eat it at 30.
You'll eat it at 30? Okay, well, he said it. Shit is crack for dogs.
Is it safe for human consumption?
I mean, if it's safe for a dog, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just getting all up in its gussy. And then I'm going to put some bits in there. Probably less carcinogenic than actual cheese was. Yeah, most likely. Goes in the center, not the whole outside. How the fuck do you clean it then? Like, I feel like the dog would never be able to get to all of it. Which I guess is kind of the point, right? Is that the point? Oh. I feel like that's an annoying amount of cleanup.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet? Okay, well.
Think it tastes good?
It smells good. It smells really good.
It smells pretty good.
It smells so good that I assume that it makes me feel like it probably tastes good.
Well, I'm going to let you know.
Here it is. Kaya. Sit. Good girl. Oh, you can't see. Hold on. Here you go. Ugh, my hands are fucking cheesy. Okay, promises made, promises kept, folks. Kaya Cam is now unleashed. It is now here. I guess I'll just put it down here for now. Bigger? No, we're doing something else right now. Okay, let's continue.
Community policing. You know, we go out and we do activities with the kids. We do activities with families. Yes, we still do our job. We still pull people over, but we're not, I guess, what you would call harassing people in some of the ways that the big cities do.
But I mean, you technically are though. Like, I mean, justifying your bad behavior and your violence for you guys doing community work, it just doesn't go hand in hand, you know?
I understand people sending.
My favorite is when they say they're doing community work, but like which community they never actually address. It's rarely ever the fucking legitimate communities that they are supposedly serving, or rather occupying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we saw this with Steven Seagal's Lawman, as a matter of fact. They were like, yeah, we got to do community day today. And then they went in and it was all white people for like their community day, where they're like showing off their fucking helicopters and stuff. Like, literally, they had just like recently gotten their helicopter. And basically, it was just all white people, even though their entire like the occupation revolved around, you know, black neighborhoods. Here, can you put the cap on there? Thank you.
Where one incident where it looks extremely bad is wrong, and then it casts an entire umbrella over the entire profession. I may have a different perspective or different perception of what you're looking at than you do because I'm in this profession.
You skipped the question?
Sorry.
Bro, what the fuck?
To Aura for sponsoring this episode. Now, let's get back to the video.
My bad.
Bad skip, dude.
Police violence is blown out of proportion.
Police officers.
Okay, that's crazy.
Numbers, it's very, very.
So when we see the videos of a police officer handling a child, and that cop has become violent towards a child.
And I agree, but my thing is, has it been blown out of proportion? I see that one incident.
We see it a lot.
Children
You do see it a lot, but you have to also take in consideration that there's over 1,800 agencies in the entire United States. So if you look at the big grand scheme of things as it relates to all these agencies, and you do see violence, you do see where it's scrutinized, where it's brutal. But if you take the numbers, it's very, very minimal.
If you look at all the public contacts with all agencies nationwide compared to these bad incidents or the perception of bad incidents. It's a very micro compared to the macro of how many public contacts all the agencies have with the public.
Those are the ones that you do see. I mean,
even
before
and it was brought up earlier about the media blowing it up, and we agree to that.
There was, Rodney King, there was Emmett Till, there was all these people,
and honestly, there's bad officers. And good officers will be the first ones to tell you there are bad officers. There's bad in every work.
Pause it! You can press the space bar. Good officers are not the good officers are not the first that they're bad officers. What the fuck? No. It's an entire culture of denying accountability. And if anything, the good officers, the supposed mythical good officers, are literally the bad officers, or the fired officers, technically. Okay? They're no longer officers. This is bullshit.
You're behind bars right now saying this.
Yeah, I'm locked up. They won't let me out. I'm about to do a prison break of reality I denied this wonderful political prisoner Kaya.
I'm sorry, sweet puppy.
She's 100% gonna roll that shit down underneath that fucking thing again. No, you did not just roll it up, bro.
She did it again.
I just got done.
She put the treat under the shelf.
How are you like this?
She wants to make him work.
Fuck! Please, stop rolling the treat. Okay, you know what? No. Oh my god, do you know what I just found?
What?
This is incredible. In my copy of George R.R. Martin, A Dance with the Dragons, I just found something insane in my Game of Thrones book. Oh my, it just fell out because I pulled it out of the library to shove it in that hole that she keeps losing the ball in.
What is it?
Do you know what this is? DJ's Belmar 2013. Saturday happy hours 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Kipple's Beach Party 3 p.m. One free drink till 9 p.m. Receive a digital pass. Text to DJ's pass to 46786. 18th and Ocean Ave. That's insane. I probably was using this as a way to fucking as a stop note or whatever. Isn't that what it's called? Or what is it? What's the word?
Bookmark?
A bookmark, yeah.
This guy reads books.
Of course. M-Hud and I are the hive mind. I was literally going to ask for this clip.
Motherfucking DJ!
They're going to DJs.
Wow! I'm ready! Are you ready? Are you ready? Going to DJs in my car! BL!
Go to DJs in my car! B-L-M-A-I! Go to DJs in my car!
Baby Blue, I see you in 2 weeks, Baby Blue! You gotta be smiling, you gotta be dancing, you gotta be shaking that ass! You better step it up, motherfuckers! I can't wait to watch this on fucking YouTube.
And their fucking Hyundai Elantra. Not one person in that car would pass a urine tox screen. Oh, dude, they are on everything, dog. Hilarious Guido's driving the DJs in Belmars, New Jersey. Possibly the funniest clip on YouTube ever made.
Damn, this guy's good.